Check. Aye, London, Wednesday, out no, COVID times, and you already know it's Black Lives Matter right now. Listen, it's crazy what's going on in the world, so you know we're out in the streets, the community, talking to the guys, we run into artists and everything. Hey, Black Lives Matter, no justice, no peace. Aye, how you feeling about what's going on in the world right now?
Right now it's fucked. The way there's corruption in the system, we need peace, we need justice. No, there's no justice and we need peace.
Aye, and tell me, is this only happening in America or is it just is it happening around the world?
It's a UK issue, it's a worldwide issue. Right now I feel like the unity we're feeling worldwide resonates with that. The fact that it's not just an American issue. It's
You get me?
They're here, it's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Have you experienced racism yourself?
Yeah, I have experienced racism.
Well, give a situation.
So my most racist experience was in South Africa. So it's not in the UK.
Yeah.
In South Africa, I was staying with some billets on a rugby tour. So a rugby tour.
Yeah,
so you stay with the other family. I'm just chilling, and then all the mums call me over, say, "Yo, come." They're filming me, and they say this word. I'll never forget the word. They'll say Akasakufa. I was smiling. I'm like, what? 15. Said, oh, Bro, asked what the word means after. One of the boys don't like it means I'm a nigger. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
These are like 30-year-old, 40-year-old mums filming me, asking me to say this. It's nuts. It's nuts.
Today, well, we're witnessing injustice. We've seen what's happened in America. It's happening across the globe. Black people have been facing injustices for centuries, and the UK is been silent. The government's been silent. They're silencing us, but not anymore, and it's not right. So we're gonna fight for it.
What's your thoughts on the current situation that's happening in the world right now?
I think it's an outrage, and that's why we're here. We're trying to help change. We want to support. We just want to listen to what everyone has to say and just show that we're with you.
Are you gonna after obviously the protesting and obviously what's going on here? What are you gonna do to do your part fighting against what's going on?
I made sure I'm signing all the petitions I come across. I'm educating myself more and more. Every time someone shares something, I'm making sure. I mean, in the lockdown, I've got my time to make sure I'm educated and make sure I understand.
The system down. Break the system down. Break the system down. Break the system down. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
Hey, Lava, what's your thoughts on the current situation? Obviously, you're out here in the streets.
Yeah, obviously the UK is not innocent, as everyone's saying. I think what's happening in America is like a microcosm of what's happening in the UK is a microcosm of what's happening in America. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything that we've been built up on has been from systematic racism and slavery. So the UK needs to fight back as well, because this is a global issue. That's my opinion, basically.
Have you experienced any racism or police brutality or any form of injustice?
I absolutely have. I mean, I grew up in an estate where I had drug raids happening in my house. Almost all the men in the black side of my family have been incarcerated. Okay. There was one point where I had 3 generations of men, my cousin, my uncle and my granddad all in Scrubs prison at the same time. So I've grown up with women having to be both the fathers and the mother in my family. Do you know what I mean? So this is a situation that hits quite personal to home for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
What are you going to do to obviously help support the movement right now and fight against oppression after the march? Because it is all about action.
I think as a unit, we all need to come up with a manifesto of what next. You know, what happens after the riots, what happens after the protests. And I think there's no single person that can be elected to make this happen. This needs to be a deeper, fundamental change. Do you know what I mean? We need a whole revolution, do you know what I mean? Like what the French did back in the day. I think that's what needs to happen, and it does feel different this time. I think we're in a new decade, and we've just gone through 10 years of things happening and just turning into hashtags. Right now, I feel like it's different. It's a new generation, and it's the 20s now, so we want change.
Facts. I feel like if everyone can at least take the streets, then at least everyone can come up with a plan of action, because it is about obviously being together, but it's also about making something happen, a change. Exactly. But I'm going to leave you to do what you're doing. I'm going to keep moving. Always. It's crazy. I feel like there's a bare emotion in the air right now. Like, you can cut it with a knife. Like, people are really out here for a good cause. They're trying to make a change. I feel like even there's people who know how to make the change and action. There's people who don't, but they're going to find out because they've taken the time to come out here right now in a pandemic. It's COVID times right now. Like, people are just dying because of the flu or I don't know what it is, but you get what I mean? It's kind of crazy. So all we can do is come together, show love, and just keep fighting for what we believe is right. Because if we don't, we're just gonna live in something that ain't even made for us. What's your thoughts on the current situations going on right now?
I think this thing's powerful, man. Black lives really do matter. This whole thing is really giving a change. I think we're doing good. I think everyone's coming together. I think the most powerful thing what's happened is that everyone's starting to be anti-racism. It's not just I'm not racist. I'm anti-racism. Do you get me?
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel like every day as a black man and hanging out with black men, you see these white youths crossing the road when you're with them, man. You see the fear and the ingrained attitude of these people every single day, and that's what life is. That's what life is. Yeah. As a black youth, and like we're young G's. And at my school, I'm the only black G at my school. You get me? So I'm just trying to spread the word to the man them and let the people know. Man's on the live streaming thing and all of that. Trying to get the peoples informed, bro, because we need to educate ourselves, you get me?
What are you going to do after the march to help fight against the oppression and help support the Black Lives Matter movement and just black people in general?
Well, look, man's dropped his piece still. I've dropped my dono, a generous one at that. Man's gone a bit broke still. But I'm putting on a workshop for black youths in collaboration with my agency, Big Up Contact. Putting on a platform for young black youths to come and create their own t-shirts, tie-dye, heat presses, shit like that. We're gonna then fund one chosen design, release that with all proceeds going to the charity, and provide them with funding to start their creative careers. Yeah, love.
What about you? What are you gonna do after this to obviously help fight and support the Black Lives Matter movement?
For me, I think it's about education. I think everyone needs to know the roots, where it's all come from. Do you know what I mean? It's all good doing all this, but everyone needs to know. It's education in my eyes.
You know. If you're not clued up, you'll never understand the root of it. All right, let's move. Alright, it's crazy. People are out here beeping there. You get me? They're showing us support anyhow. You get me? My man in the bus, look. You get me? Showing his support. You tell him it doesn't matter. You're working, you're still showing your support somehow. Why are you here, and what's your thoughts on what's going on in the world right now?
I'm here, I guess, to stand with people of other denominations in order for us to acknowledge that we as black people are not being treated right. I mean, on a systematic level and beyond.
Have you experienced any racism or oppression or police brutality yourself? Can you talk about the encounter?
Yes. Yes. Not me specifically, but my sister. And yeah, it kind of left a nasty feeling. It was blatantly racially fueled because there was words used that were indicative of it. And yeah, so absolutely it's affected us, but more so my brothers than anything.
What are you going to do after obviously the Black Lives Matter march today to help support and fight and just show knowledge and just share the message?
I mean, I'm part of a few foundations, but the fact is, also as well. Yeah, so forgive me, I'll go into that. But also as well, we have to remember that we need an economical basis to stand on, grounds to stand on. It's important for us to be building in a way where we are not trying to use the system that is slapping us down. Step out of that system, create your own. That's right. Have ownership and understand what accountability really truly means and how we're able to get retribution.
Yeah. Name the projects and the things that you said you're a part of.
So we've got the African People's Party, yeah, and obviously they're working in the community. It's important to try and branch out to your local community because we're doing this march here, and it's for George Floyd and Lloyd. And the fact is that ultimately, he's one of many that happened 5,000 miles away, and it's happening here in London right now.
Paris.
Yeah, the whole world feels it right now. And this is why it's important for us to be acknowledging this, and that's why we're all here today, But you're right, absolutely, we need to be finding some economical basis and grounds to stand on to move forward from this, because this system is always gonna be the oppressor.
Facts. It's all about knowledge as well. I feel like a lot of people are here. Some people don't know too much, but from what they know, they're showing their support. And I feel like if these guys also really are a part of it and believe in this, they need to go educate themselves. Do you get what I mean? Because without education, you won't know the root. You won't know where it comes from. Like, I had to even myself ask a couple of my brethren, have you watched Roots? Have you seen a couple of these things? Even crazy. Even my own black brothers, I had to ask them. Some of them haven't. So I was trying to just get them clued up.
This war is not just with other denominations. Do you see what I'm saying? And it's important for us to acknowledge that our own need to be on board as well. We need to make sure that we are educating ourselves in order to be able to move forward with solidarity.
I'm here with Marina. What's your thoughts on the current situation and what's going on in the world right now?
Bro, I think it's fucking crazy what's going on, man. It's beautiful to see everybody fucking come out here today. My girlfriend been out in LA fucking protesting there. I've been seeing, man, she got shot with a fucking rubber bullet out there, bro. So it's fucking beautiful to see everybody come out here today to fucking support Black Lives Matter, man. Fucking beautiful.
What are you going to do after this to obviously show your support and fight against what's going on?
Smack a fucking racist. You see anybody acting racist, bro? You smack him. You denounce it now. You don't put up with that shit. You call your friends out. You say fuck you. You make them feel like a fucking idiot.
Are you going to find out about any funding projects, or are you going to do any donations just to support the cause?
I did a donation yesterday. I donated £900 personally, and I raised £900 as well. So we gave £1,800 to bail out protesters in America.
Amazing. My guy Marino. So what's your name, my brother?
My name is Joseph.
Nice to meet you, Joseph. What's your thoughts on the current situation right now?
What's my thoughts? Lives matter, period. Okay. Lives. Not black, not white, lives matter. Very important. We have a real problem in society, in this world. Cannot necessarily blame politicians directly. Okay. But there is a real serious problem ingrained in society. They're unable to differentiate between one human being and another. And I'm saying again, lives matter. Not black lives, not white.
But you know what it is? It's just a common situation that always happens with black lives, but also just racism in general.
Racism in general is a real serious problem that must be eradicated. Absolutely must be eradicated. I am Jewish, proud Jewish guy. I actually even live half my life in Israel, and I'm against violence, I'm against racism, first of all, I'm against the bigotry. It's terrible. It destroys the fabric of a society, and it's eating away at the fundamental values that we are meant to be born into. Sadly, that is a real problem that no one knows how to tackle. And the only way that we see right now is this demonstration right here and around the world. Unfortunately, taking it to extremes of violence is not the answer either. That should stop right here. This is okay. Must stop right here. And this violence must stop.
But if you pay attention to the media, don't you always see that it's a common occursion that a young black brother is being killed by police brutality or other means?
That is racism. Simple. Nothing else. Plain and simple. Racism, that's all it is. Plain and simple, period. You must remove racism, and you must understand, everyone in the world must understand that lives matter. Simple. Not so hard to understand. Listen, I came up to you as a stranger, bro. I have nothing against you, nothing against anyone here. And I'm not looking for a fight, I'm not looking for an argument, I'm looking to identify, understand. Just to listen and understand. That's all it is, all right?
I feel you. So what are you going to do after today just to show your support and help with the movement that's going on? Because obviously, as we do live in like the technology era, social media era, it's easy for someone to make a post and feel like, that's it. That's what that has to be done when it's all about action.
Look, action is easier said than done. Okay.
Not really, because there are obviously funding bodies, there are things out there that do help put a stop to these kind of things.
Yes. What must happen, in my opinion, is that every organization, non-profit, for-profit, that has some support, that does have a an anti-racism agenda must band together. Must come
It's
together.
about unity.
You're absolutely in unity.
What's your thoughts on the current situations in the world right now?
Everyone's saying that the system failed us. This system was never made to protect us. This system was meant to deem us from the beginning. This is just us paying attention to that.
Have you yourself experienced racial profiling, any racism, police brutality, and if so, can you talk on the experience?
I went to a British private school. There was racism everywhere. Epsom, fuck you. They don't give a shit about black students. They don't. Institutions aren't meant for us.
What are you going to do, obviously, after this march? Obviously, just sharing love in general. What are you going to do to show your support and make an action than just easy social media support?
You got to donate to causes. Our money is, our financial freedom is the most important thing to us at the moment. We've got to donate to bail funds, donate to George Floyd's family, donate to other cities and their bail funds. It's not just us, it happens everywhere. We've got to donate and spread love.
All right, thank you for your time. Think about this, yeah? Right now there's over, I don't know how many people just showing their support right now in this Black Lives Matter march today. But think about this. How many people in the crowd right now themselves have experienced racism, police brutality? Like, it's crazy. You gotta think about it, like, at least 80% of people here have gone through some form of racism, police brutality, social profiling. It's crazy. Ryan Hawaii, live and direct, Black Lives Matter. What's your thoughts on the current situations going on in the world right now?
I think, to be honest, we need to dismantle white supremacy and the system that we're living in. That's the primary thing. So we need to find new channels. That's why I think you're so important, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got your own media platform. You're doing your thing, presenting things the way that you want to present them, and I think that's what's important. That's the solution to the shit.
Facts. Have you experienced any racism yourself, or gone through any racial profiling yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I've suffered a lot, like, in the industry.
Especially the fashion industry, it's crazy there.
Just even in the fashion industry, like, people be saying shit like, you know, trying to classify me as a street artist. But if it was a white artist, then maybe they would just say as an artist. You get what I'm saying? So just small things like that, and that is more reflective of white supremacy for me. And also, yeah, like police shit too. But the police is why I'm holding the sign that I'm holding. You know what I'm saying? But I think we need to find solutions in it. That's why I'm happy everyone's been peaceful today. You know what I mean? It's not been a violent thing, which is good. Yeah.
What are you gonna do, obviously, after the march, just to show your support, to help give people knowledge, to teach as well?
I'm gonna try to do a product release.
Yeah.
And like donate the money to the relevant causes.
Yeah.
In my daily life, I educate people as much as I can.
Yeah.
And I guess through my platform, I'm gonna do my best to educate and make people aware. Because it's not just about today or the moment, it's about like changing the mindset of the masses.
Facts.
Yeah.